What is good, everyone? My name is Shanray. Welcome to the House of Rise. Today I have something very exciting for you all. Months back I told you guys that with the growth of the channel I'd be introducing more and more events for the community. Well, it's 2020, more than a month into it. It's high time we step up and commit to those words. I'm announcing probably the biggest Wizard101 PvP tournament on YouTube yet. That's right. You will have a chance to compete against various opponents to win crowns from a prize pool of 120,000 crowns. Thanks to our very generous sponsor, whose love for the community, Wizard101 and PvP goes beyond expectation, that we're able to have this event for this channel. But yeah, without further ado, let's just hop right into the details. Alright guys, so a couple things just to take care of before I actually get into the rulings. This tournament is open to level 100s to 130s. So level 100 to 130, you're good to go for this tournament. If you aren't level 100 just yet, make sure you're level 100 before you send me the application to enter. So with that said, here's the second thing. The rulings for this tournament is really meant to encourage fair gameplay. Now that's difficult to do with the RNG based game, where going second really does lose you like half the match, right? More than half the match. So how can we fix this? So the only real way I thought I could approach this was by making each round, a best out of 3. So what does that mean? That means the first person out of 3 games to win 2 of them will proceed on to the next round. So suppose you went second game 1, you had a really bad hand, you couldn't draw anything, or you went first and you had a bad hand, you couldn't do anything, and you just lost. That happens to all of us, right? So should that one loss just eliminate you from this tournament entirely? I don't think that's fair. So what we're doing is we're giving you more than one chance. So the chances of you going second twice, yes, that's possible. That's absolutely possible. It happens to everyone, right? But I feel like at least then you will have a second chance, right? A second shot. So that way you can see, okay, this person plays this way, maybe I can change out my playstyle and beat him by a different strategy. So that's something you guys have the option to. So best out of 3 is really the way we're going to go about this. And you'll be facing the same opponent. Person to pick up 2 wins advances. It's simple as that. You guys will have 20 minutes per game, not per round, per game. So first game, 20 minutes, second game, 20 minutes, so on and so on. So how do I decide if in this 20 minutes, if neither player are dead, how do they win? So I'm not Diego. I'm not going to screw you guys over, right? And I'm not going to be doing health, like base health, because that doesn't seem fair to a lot of people. Like Storm, for example, you only have low health. So if you're at max health and Ice is at max health, obviously you're just going to lose. That doesn't seem fair. So what we're going to do is we're going to do percentage health. So percentage of your total health. So suppose in 20 minutes, whoever I'm facing managed to do 3,000 damage to me, right? So it'll be 3,000 divided by 5952. So whatever that percentage is, that's how much percentage of health you have left. And we'll do that for your opponent too. Whoever has the highest percentage health after 20 minutes will win that game. You have to win 2 games to advance to the next round. So that's, just keep that in mind. It's pretty straightforward. I hope you guys understand. If you guys don't, I'll be linking the whole thing in the description, like I said, so you guys will have a chance to look it over and just verify a couple things with yourself later on. So with that out of the way, let me just get right into some of the spell rulings, because I said another big issue with PvP, especially in 2020, and you guys know this, I don't have to tell you guys this, it's shadow spells. Shadow spells is a big problem. Other than being second, shadow spells will lose you the game. So yeah, they can decide whether you win or lose just based on how many shadow pips you get. So I don't think that's fair. We're going to try to fix that a little bit. So here's how we're going to do this. So spell regulations. Both players are limited to 1 shadow enchanted spell per game, not per round, per game. So what are shadow enchanted spells? Those are FFA, Witch's House Call, Razulka's Wrath, any of those pip spells that require a shadow pip just to do more damage, I guess. Those are limited 1 per game. Whether you're first or second, those are limited 1 per game. Now Shadow Strike is something else. That can really hurt you if you're second. So here's how we're going to fix this. Shadow Strike is banned for players that are going first. So suppose you're first, your opponent goes second, right? If you're first, you're not allowed to use Shadow Strike for the rest of that game. For the rest of the game, no Shadow Strike. However, if you're second to that person, you can use one Shadow Strike per game. So you're limited to one Shadow Strike. That means, yes, you're going second. We want to help you out a little bit. We want to make sure that you have a more fair gameplay. So how are we going to do that? We're going to let you have Strike and your opponent not have Strike. That's really the only big thing. And I think that definitely does help out people that are second. That makes it more strategy based ultimately for people that are first. You're like, okay, I need to shield stack, I need to tower stack, I need to do something because I'm going to die. So yeah, hopefully that will encourage more creativity as how you play going first or second. That said, I don't want you guys to like be shield spamming, so we're gonna put set shields to 4 per game. So what are set shields? There's a 70 to 90% school shield, like school exclusive shields. So none of those, all right? No set shields. 4 per game. After the 4, no more set shields. Other than that, shadow spells like Nova. I forgot what the other ones are called. Let's check. So we have Nova, we have Trickstar. Trickstar's fine. You can use Trickstar, no problem at all. Trickstar's good. That really is creative. I think Trickstar's super creative, so yeah, you can use that. Just Strike is has limitations on it. Every other spell, even Dark Nova, full power, go for it. And one last thing, well, 2 last things. This is really the important part. Ifrit is capped to 1 per game. I'm looking at you, Fires. You guys can't be doing this stuff, all right? Ifrit is capped to 1 per game. No more Ifrit chaining into Ifrit. That just ain't fair, bro. Especially if you're second to someone. That's really not fun. So yeah. And number 6, heals are limited to 2 per game. So I don't care how much heal, you know, how much crit you have. I don't care what you're doing. You only get 2 heals per game. Whether you want to use it on a regenerate, a satyr, a fairy, a dryad, whatever you want. Just 2 heals per game, alright? That's it. And that goes for any school. If you're myth and you can heal 2 per game, bro, that's it. So yeah, those 2 heals per game can still be very, very dangerous. So how do we limit that? Well, we have heal rating capped at 50% combined. So what does that mean? So look at my stats right now. This is my attacking stats. Let me see. Let's go into my PvP set and I'll show you what I mean. So for instance, you guys are looking at my heal rating. It is 13% here and 10%. So the total combined is 23%, which is below 50%. So technically my storm is qualified. However, if your incoming is 40% and your outgoing is 40% or 50%, you add those up, it's more than 50%. So yeah, you can't do that. Your capped has to be combined 50. As for resist, obviously I don't want you guys going immune to your opponent. That's going to be a problem. But we have to set a limit when it comes to resist. So here's what we're going to do. Because I do like drawn out games and stuff like that, I think that's really fun ultimately. So we're going to cap resist at 80%. So now that is a little high for sure, but I think this really encourages creativity. You can use infal, you can use some pierce pets, you can do whatever you want, you know. So yeah, resist is 80%. You are allowed to switch out your gear, switch out your pets before every game or every round, but just be quick, don't waste anyone's time, and just as long as you're within the rules and regulations, you should be fine. And again, all these rules are linked in the description below. Okay, so here's a really important part, right? How do you actually register for this tournament? Well, it's pretty simple, and a lot of you guys already know about it, but it's Discord. This tournament is hosted by the House of Riot. So this is my Discord server, and to basically register, you need to be in the Discord. So if you don't have an account, just make one. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. So make a Discord account, and then message me. So my Discord tag is SeanRay 6570. So message me, and all you have to do is send me your character name, your PvP rank, and a screenshot of your character page. So just send me a screenshot of this right here. So this will basically allow me to see that you are indeed who you say you are, right? So I don't want you using your friend's account and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure that you are who you are. So send me a picture of this, a screenshot of this, and just like that, you'll be entered into the registration pool. So that does not mean you're necessarily going to be picked. We do have limited spots available. We have 32 players that are competing. So yeah, we don't want too many players. It will be too long if we do that. So we're going to be picking the best out of the best. So yeah, put on your best PvP gear, put on your best stats, and show me what you got, guys. We're really gonna have a really fun competition. It's gonna be really competitive gameplay. So yeah, I think it should be alright. And one last thing. If you guys want to be a referee, so maybe you don't want to compete in a tournament or you don't qualify or something like that, but you do want to be a referee because you do know a lot about PvP. So you can be a referee. So how do you be a referee? It's the same thing. You just message me on Discord and ask if you can be a referee, right? So what do referees do and what do they get? So referees, your job is to make sure you see those rules that I outlined just now, just to watch over people's matches during the tournament, during the actual day, and make sure no one is breaking any of these rules. I already have a couple referees already registered and good to go, but I do need a few more. So definitely message me and see if you can be put in as a referee in the tournament. Keep in mind, this whole tournament will be live streamed, so probably hundreds of people will see it eventually. But yeah, as well, what will you be getting? Well, whenever I live stream, you will be getting the mod. You'll be modded on my live stream, so you guys do have a little bit more power in that end. As well, on my Discord server, you will get an exclusive role, so that'll be really fun. Also, in the description, I have a Google document with everything that you will need to know about this tournament on there. So all you gotta do is go down there, click on it, and there will be a link to the challenge site where the brackets are arranged. You'll have links to my Discord server, links to my Discord tag, and yeah, I think everything should be alright. I will be announcing more updates as the time comes, and if you guys have any more questions, there will be a live stream right after this video, so feel free to ask me then, and I will be trying to explain as much, and I'll try to explain as much as I can on the live streams. Alright guys, one last thing. As the channel grows more and more, I'll definitely be able to do more events in the future, so make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Tell your friends about this, link this video to them if they're interested in PvP, if they're interested in tournaments. They might be interested in winning some crowns. You never know. You never know what they want. So definitely make sure this video gets out to as much as possible, and definitely give it a like, because what that really does, it lets more people be encouraged to see this video on their newsfeed. So yeah, definitely go ahead, hit the like button, tell your friends about it, and subscribe. And until then, until tonight, because I will be streaming, I will see you later.